Welcome back. In this week's short video, I'm going to take you through a few handy little gadgets that I found really useful on a recent install. That's coming up next. Oh, well, that was quite a week last week. If you saw Friday's video, I talked about using the Lamello Zeta on the first commercial job. Well, that job was actually, I was installing it last week. There'll be a little bit more video coming out before too long about the actual construction of those cabinets. There's 3 double wardrobes and 3 double top boxes, all fitted on the top floor of a substantial property. Lots of lifting and carrying in that. It was a long old week. Finally finished it late on Friday night. I started very early Monday morning and I finished late Friday. So yeah, pretty weary. In fact, I was so tired I managed to leave my portable bench behind, so I had to go back and get that this morning. Anyway, I used 3 products on that install, which one of which I've known about for a long time but I've never got around to using, and one of which I've had for a long time but I've never got around to using, and one of which is relatively new to me and I used it for the first time on this particular job, and I just wanted to share these with you because they all worked exceptionally well. Let's start with the new thing. This is a block scribe, the block scribe it's called. This is a really simple and effective scribing block. There's all kinds of different ways of scribing, and I'll be doing a video before too long about the scribing process because it's something that comes up very frequently. It's not something you're generally capable of shooting a video on during an installation, because almost by definition you only do that sort of thing during an install. So I'm going to have to set one up, mock one up to explain how it's all done. But the block scribe is from my Twitter pal Steve Tomlin at SBT Design on all the social things. Steve's just getting into 3D printing, and this isn't a unique thing. I think there are versions of this knocking around, but this is Steve's version, and it's really clever as well as being really colourful. It fits all the standard UK sheet material sizes of 612, 15, 18, 19 and 22 mil, depending on which face you're bearing against. And because it's unlike grabbing a scrap of carcass material, potentially I've found when I'm doing those sort of scribes with a bit of carcass material, it can actually mark the wall, especially if you're in a freshly painted room. This actually works extremely well because it's so clean and so tidy. I used it for the first time last week, and it worked an absolute treat. It's a fairly new venture for Steve. I don't think he's actually selling them, but he's sort of asking you to register an interest. So there's a link down in the video description below if you do want to register an interest in the block scribe here. If you don't know Steve Tomlin, you might know his work. Steve won the Triton Masters Wood contest, not last year, the year before, with a really nice mini workshop bench build, a fixed bench build, and I think he's got plans to that on his website as well. We'll put links down in the description below to all those things. But this works extremely well, and it was exceptionally effective. I love it, absolutely fantastic, and it just takes a standard pencil. Yeah, great, clever, simple piece of kit, and a bright colour, so you're not going to lose it. The other thing that I used, again, this is something that I've had for a while but just not got around to using it. Again, a very bright, jolly colour. It's called the U-scribe jig. This is kind of aimed at kitchen fitters in particular, but I used it to scribe the infills that went between the carcass and the wall. And it's really, really simple and really clever little piece of 3D printed wizardry. They look like sort of, doll's house chairs or something. This particular one is 18 mil, and they just fit over an 18 mil carcass like that. And then because this side here is slotted, you can put your infill into that, screw it in place, and that's it. It's held. Then you can scribe to the wall, either using a carcass offcut or indeed a block scribe jig like this. And they worked extremely well. Very effective. Very simple, a great design. The green ones here are for 18 mil thick carcasses. There's a 16 18 obviously, 19 and 22mm versions. I think these are about 12 or 13 pounds for a set of 3. I've got a third one somewhere, I don't know where it is, but they work extremely well. Again, links down in the video description to all this good stuff. And then the last thing that I used, which I've had, I've known about for a while, which not really got around to using it, is this little guy. These are called space plugs, and they're really, really simple, really, really effective. They just sort of bridge the gap between the carcass and the wall, and you just drill a hole straight through the centre of it and drive a long screw through the space plug and the carcass and into the wall, and then you just sort of adjust this out. They're a little bit like the adjustable feet you get for kitchen cabinets, and these were really effective. A couple of these in each of the carcasses, and they were absolutely rock solid. Obviously I was using these between the side of the carcass and the wall, because on this particular build I had to bring the carcasses inboard slightly so that when the doors opened they didn't clash against a window sill. Anyway, the space plugs, adjustable spacers, really clever, made here in the UK, as all these things are. And that's really all there is to it. They are available in 2 sizes. This is the larger of the 2, so it expands between 45 and 80mm, and there's a standard size which works between 30 and 50mm. Price-wise, depending on how many you buy, the larger size, they will run to around about 70 pence a piece if you buy them in packs of 10. Not much more than half that if you buy in packs of 50. Again, links down in the video description below as to where to buy these and to the website. For space plugs, great products. All 3 of these really saved me a lot of time and did the job really, really well. As I say, I will be doing a video in future specifically about scribing, and we'll go into the nitty-gritty about how we actually use these on that video. But that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.